Debra Kennedy fans, you know I love you. And I know you love me. But you threw me some emails about my dating segment that I loved. The Debra Kennedy Show is all about opinions. And you certainly had some opinions on my segment on Back in the Game. So I want to address a few of those. But first, I do want to thank you for all of your emails and suggestions about dating. I do apologize if I came off as disingenuous about my dating. I'm just going to say, I'm not an expert by any means, and I was only sharing my story. And I'm going to be real. I was married for a very long time, and it's uncomfortable getting back into the dating scene. And at that segment, I was a little excited about everything. My crew was back. Our tapings were back on. I was recently divorced, and I was doing some dating. I've been doing it for a little bit of time. So I appreciate that you checked me and that you sent me a lot of questions, and that I've realized I have a lot of male viewers out there. So I love the love that you sent to me. I'm going to address a few of your questions, ladies and men, and how you checked me and really what you want to see more of from me, and I'll share my opinions on it. I'm going to start with question number 1. I'm just going to say I picked 4 of the best questions out of probably 50 to 100 emails that I received. So I'm going to share the love, but I'm going to just address 4 of them today. First email, Debra, you do not seem serious about online dating or dating in general. Are you really interested in a relationship? That's a great question. I'm going to say it's an amazing question. I'm just one woman in a sea of many women trying to get back into this dating scene. My path is singular. Like I said before, I'm not a dating expert, but it is the Debra Kennedy Show, and you have shared my moments with me, from weddings to graduations to just lots of other great things. So, of course, I feel like your family, and I have to share what's new in my life, which is the dating scene. I assure you, I would not be doing this online dating experience if I weren't really looking for a relationship. I promise you. Some people are lucky enough to find their person on the first or second date. However, I have not. I was married for a very long time, and I want my next relationship to be my last relationship. I know my person will have a lot of patience and understanding, and I know that you're out there. I mean, who knows? It could be someone that I'm seeing now, but I am very, very serious about finding that relationship. I'm very, very serious about finding my person, and I assure you, I do not take it lightly. All right, now I'm going to address question number 2. Debra, you talked a lot about what you did not like in a guy, but you didn't share what you're looking for in a guy. All right, now, was this one of those invitations or proposals of marriage? Because I might just accept that. I'm teasing. But it was a great question, an excellent question, actually. You know what? I'm going to be honest and say I have been doing a lot of self-discovery. And what I thought I was looking for, as well as my type, is different than when I began my journey. I'm going to tell you what I do like in a guy, which will make you happy, because I did talk a lot about what I didn't like in a guy. So I'm glad you checked me on that. I like a guy that intellectually stimulates me. I mean, it's great that the guy's sweet and he tells you you're pretty and you're nice and you're all these different things. But what's really sexy to me is someone I can go to dinner with, we can converse with each other, talk about things that we might not even agree on, but have stimulating conversation. I love that. I like a guy that lets me know he likes me. I mean, who has time for these games? Some guys talk about, oh my gosh, I can't text you for 24 hours because you might think I like you. Well, heck, if you like me, you need to text me the minute you get home and say, great date. I mean, that's what I like in a guy. Someone that's not afraid to share his feelings. I mean, isn't that why we're doing this? Aren't we way too old to be playing games? I am. I like a guy that does not judge and judge anyone and values my opinion as well as everyone else's opinion and has his own opinion. But he's not judgy. I find myself when I talk to people like that, I'm not judgy because sometimes when you're talking to someone and they're all judgy and not liking your opinion, you kind of get judgy too. So I like a guy that's open to communication and open to other opinions. Chemistry is at the top of the list because we have to really be attracted to each other. Now, sometimes that happens on the first date. Sometimes it might happen on the second date. But chemistry absolutely has to be there. I like a guy that has patience. A lot of patience. A lot of patience. Because this dating thing takes a lot of patience. If you're patient with me, I promise I'm going to be patient with you. Because sometimes my schedule is all over the place. And sometimes your schedule is going to be all over the place. So we just have to be patient with each other. I really like a guy that is confident in who he is. He doesn't try to please me. He doesn't try to be someone that he thinks I want. He is just himself. So I really love that about a guy. Lastly, I like a guy that is interested in me, interested in my family, and interested in my 5-year plan. Because if you're interested in all of that, I'm going to be reciprocal and be interested in yours. So I know that was a lot, but you asked what I was looking for in a guy, and you checked me on it, that I talked more about what I didn't like in a guy and not so much in what I did. But like I said, this is just what I like. There's going to be a million other women out there. That's not what they're looking for. That is what Debra Kennedy is looking for. All right, I'm going to go to question number 3. Question number 3. Debra, I know you said you were not a dating expert. This has to be a chick. But you seem to be very good at it. What advice can you give us gals out there that are experiencing this online dating thing for the first time? Wait until you're ready. Let me repeat that. Wait until you're ready. It takes a minute or a few months or maybe even 6 months to figure this out. And I'm going to apologize to all of those great guys out there that I went out with in the very beginning because I wasn't ready. So I know you have to get some experience at it, but you also have to be ready because it's fair to those that you're dating and really fair to yourself. Timing has a lot to do with dating. And you have to both be in the right moment and available. So I think timing is super important, ladies. Even when a guy says he is willing to travel for the right person, long distance is challenging. Heck, I find it challenging to date people in my own backyard, not alone. Long distance relationships, I mean, it really does work for some people. Some people thrive on it. It just doesn't work for me. Be intentional about what you want. I want a relationship, but I won't settle until I find the person that makes me think about him endlessly. Wake up in the morning thinking about him. Go to bed thinking about him. That's what I'm looking for. It may not be the first date that gives me those feelings. It may be the third. But at that point, I will know. And you will know too. So after the third date, if you don't have those feelings, you need to let that person go because it's not your person. It's hard because the person might like you. You might like that person. But if you're not feeling it, it's best to let it go. The best advice I can give you gals out there, and guys actually, is to love yourself. Be patient. This is a journey. This is what we do now. You're making friendships. You have to make the best of each date. Go into it thinking, I'm just going to have a really good time, going to have some great conversation, and if something happens and we like each other, That's bonus points. But you have to really, really, really love yourself before all those things can happen. And I'm going to answer question number 4, which is my last question. Miss Kennedy, every guy I go out with is interested in sex. On the first date, how do I handle that? Girl, do I not know that? That's what all guys think of. That's a great question. I will say 99% of the guys I've dated, they have been perfect gentlemen. But let's be real, we're all human. And if the chemistry's there for both of you, at least you know that the chemistry's there. And so a guy's going to try what a guy's going to try. You have to set your boundaries. You have to know what you want. I mean, there are some guys out there that are looking for a relationship, and there are some guys out there that are just looking for a hookup. So be true to yourself and know who you are and what you're comfortable with. If that is not what you're interested in, just say that's not what you're interested in, and you're sorry, you're going to have to end the date because that's not the person that you want. But you have to speak the truth. You have to be very honest, and you have to share your feelings. Some girls out there, that's how they feel loved. And that is not going to give you love, girls. It is really not. It's going to give you great sex, but it's not going to give you the love that you want. So you have to be true to yourself. You do you and what makes you comfortable. So I'm just saying, if a guy wants sex on the first date and that's not what you want, just say no. Okay, I'm just going to say to keep those emails coming, the IMs, the messages. I love it. This is why I do the Debra Kennedy Show. I do it to make a difference in lives. Whether you're sending me emails that perhaps I sparked a little, I don't know, hate in you, or you thought I was disingenuous, or sparked a little interest, or you just need advice. I love it because we do this show to help you, to make a difference. And I'm so glad I get to share my life with you. No matter what's going on, you've been part of my family, my viewers, for the last 16 years. So I want to shout out love to you, and I want to say thank you for checking me, for balancing me, for calling me on the things that you might not agree with, but you can always know I'm going to be me, and I'm going to check you back.